might have gone into a gap.
So you've removed the
15th fret.
right, which should be right over the area where the dovetail intersects the head block.
It should. I just finished drilling a pilot hole. And now I'll switch to a bigger bit. That's the same diameter as our heat source.
Right.
Must have been working on a thin body guitar last time. That's what we want. Gonna reverse it. That generally helps with chipping. Wow. Not optimistic about that being in the hole. We'll turn around the other way.
Now you definitely have debris in your...
Yeah, but we will get heat down there, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
really all that matters.
Well,
That one went smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really explain why this one wouldn't, but okay. So now what we want to do is heat up the fretboard extension and separate it from the soundboard before we start heating the dovetail joint. Okay, what's been happening?
Well, we used that slick new iron. Show them a picture of the iron.
This nice iron here.
Lovely.
It's called a veneer edge banding iron.
And we
Put it there.
right, and it has a cute little stand that holds it nice and flush up against the fingerboard. And we like that cook at 275.
Yep, for what, about 15 minutes?
Yeah, for about 15 minutes, and boy, it softened up the glue very nicely, and we were able to slide a series of thin knives underneath. So the way I like to do it is I try to pick up an edge, and then once we can loosen it a little bit, we slide this plate underneath, and then advance this blade on top of it, so that we're not digging into the soundboard. Never done that, of course.
Oh, no, certainly not. But I've heard other people do that.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. And until we see it lift all the way to the edge of the 14th, I guess that would be the 14th fret, yes, to the edge of the 14th fret. And now that we have it lifted off, we've put the heating rod down inside of the holes that we drilled near the dovetail joint, end of the dovetail joint, and let that cook for a little bit, and then we'll start working on freeing up the dovetail from the head block.
Yeah, that's probably going to take a half hour or so.
Yeah, it takes a little bit.
Seems to.
Sometimes, or often, we'll end up pouring a little water down those holes to try to create some steam. I know that there's lots of guys who do it. They actually have like a steam injector system that they blow in there that seems to work just fine, but this seems to work for us just fine too, so.
Yeah. And then we should have done it before we stuck this in, but before we try to loosen the neck, we need to score along the joint.
Yes, yeah, right.
Cut through the lacquer.
Yeah, it looks like this guitar, the neck and body were sprayed as a unit. You know, some guitars like Martin's, the neck is sprayed separately and then it's joined to the body. But this guitar looks as though it was sprayed with the neck already installed.
So I'm going to get the heat gun so we can soften up the lacquer before taking a knife to it.
Good thinking.
Thanks. Not that I've ever not done this, but I hear this makes for a cleaner cut. Okay, we've got the heat going into the holes. I think you've moved this from side to side.
Yes.
And under the heel, we have a block of wood. And now, Jeff says the neck is starting to wobble a little bit. So if we gradually tighten these clamps, we're going to press down on the body while that block of wood presses up on the heel, and
At some point it'll let go.
at some point it'll let go. Want to give them a squeeze?
Sure.
Many people like to. Oh, yeah, I don't know if it's going to work on the table saw, but the idea's there.
Yeah, we'll just let heat work for a while.
Yeah, but definitely looser. Okay. You want to wiggle and I'll hold?
Sure.
Get a little closer to the edge, yeah. Don't want to be punching through the top of the guitar.
Right.
Coming?
Well, it's definitely significantly looser.
Do we need to get the heating gun out of the way?
Probably, I was wondering whether or not we wanted to pull
Probably
that
wouldn't
pin.
hurt, huh? Reset the clamps a little bit if you want. Get closer in to the heel. Quite ready to let go, is it? No?
Maybe not.
I guess not. No. More heat?
Yeah.
Okay, fire away. Aha! Just in time, the camera goes on.
Excellent.
Good. So, we'll let this dry for, well, till I see you again next week. And then we can start doing the reshaping.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see you with the one hole you
Yeah.
cut across.
Yeah, I can see it here too. I just clipped it with the treble side, and the bass side stayed all in the head block. Because the gap really isn't at the 15th fret on this guitar. It's more like 14 and 3/4.